What's up with y'all, man? It's your boy David. We back with another reaction video. Today, we're gonna be reacting to rap-owned labels, the biggest scam in hip-hop. I don't know too much about rap-owned labels. The only rap-owned labels I know of is Opium and OVO, but and Dreamville too. Dreamville too. And I don't really know. I didn't really think they were scams. I thought they were like, pretty good business, ideas that these guys made. But let's see what they're talking about, man. Let's see if these hoes are really scams or not scams, man. If y'all like the video, make sure y'all like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get straight to it. Ignore the noise in the background.
If there's one thing worse than signing away your musical rights to a record label, it's signing to a rapper-owned label. Often sold as safe spaces where the rapper just kinda gets it, because after all, who better to sign to than another artist who knows exactly what an artist needs, right? In reality, they're often double the trap, combining the already predatory nature of major labels with the unchecked characteristics of an artist.
And don't a lot of these artist labels work under major labels anyways? That's the only reason why they got any real pull in the first place. Like, I don't know, bro. You signed to a nigga that signed to a nigga that signed to that nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? That shit crazy. Who said that shit? Was that Kendrick? I think it was Kendrick. Of course it was Kendrick. Of course Kendrick said that shit. But Kendrick knows what he's talking about because, he be rapping and shit. He a rapper, so, yeah.
And no one embodies that paradox quite like Kanye West in good music. Launched way back at the outset of his career with artists like John Legend and Common, good music morphed into a powerhouse of a label, and by 2018, it looked unstoppable. After all, this was the year that they made the famous Good Summer slate of releases featuring classic projects like Pusha T's Daytona, Kanye's self-titled album Ye, and Kanye and Cudi's long-awaited album Kids See Ghosts, all exclusively produced by Ye himself. Along the way, he even released lesser hyped bangers such as Teyana Taylor's KTSE and Nas's Nasir album. But as successful as a move as this was, behind the scenes, in a rage-fueled episode that was leaked years later, Ye admitted to harboring resentment towards producing all of these albums for his own artists.
I didn't even know this happened. I don't even know where the fuck was I in 2018? I didn't even know this happened, bro. I was probably too much of a child to even know this shit was going on, bro. Of course, Ye's having a goddamn breakdown. This nigga's mental health is not the best. He's very like wishy-washy and fucked up and shit, and he was talking some real. I know, like, when I hear this clip, it's not gonna surprise me because Ye is a very venomous person because of his mental health, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but I'm not gonna be surprised.
I'm doing giving Wanna Love You to Tiana. What the I'm doing giving that Daytona album to Pusha? What the I'm doing, bro? That was 3 dark fantasies that I gave away. Cop the kid, Nas rapping all goddamn offbeat on it, don't even want to shoot a video. They shoot the video, don't even tell me. These don't appreciate me. All these trying to use me. I'm the greatest artist living, and I could do everything.
While the label may have reached its height around this time, Ye often maintained contentious relationships with his artists on and around the label, including one of, if not the biggest hitmaker on good music besides himself. An hour and 27 minutes into a drunken night on the Drink Champs podcast, Ye ominously held up a cardboard tombstone and declared that the worst thing he ever did was sign Big Sean. While going on,
Damn, nigga. What the fuck? That is so fucked up. This nigga, bro, Ye don't be giving a damn, bro. Like, you ain't even have to do that, bro. You could not want to sign Big Sean and kind of keep that to yourself and kind of, let that live in your heart. But this nigga, he wanted to hurt Sean. He wanted to hurt that nigga, bro. That's fucked up.
on to say that
When I die, on my tombstone, it's gonna say, I deserve to be here because I signed Big Sean.
what played out wasn't just a disagreement, it was a public funeral of Big Sean's career orchestrated by his own mentor. And the root of this, Ye accused Sean.
I mean, look at his haircut, bro. Nigga turned to the side. I saw just a big ass patch. Nigga had patches all over his head in this motherfucking interview, bro. He wasn't mentally well. He's not mentally well now. He definitely wasn't mentally well up here. But nigga's a billionaire with patches in his fucking head. Like, he's not okay.
Of betrayal. In his own words, Ye claimed Sean alongside
But look, y'all saw that nigga turn his head. Y'all saw that shit? Big ass patch.
other proteges got used quick by the Democrats to come at the man that actually changed their life. Or in other words, Ye expected loyalty during his bizarre presidential run in 2020, and when he felt like Sean didn't stand with him, he did the most Kanye thing ever. But rappers weren't exempt, because producers like Hit Boy, the man solely responsible for producing some.
I almost want to say, what the fuck was he thinking he could be president, but then Donald Trump became president. So it's like, he probably might have had a real chance, nigga. I ain't gonna lie, because Donald is not qualified to be a president. I hope we all know this. So it's like, shit really crazy, bro.
Ye's biggest hits like Ninjas in Paris and Click had to suffer from falling out of favor with Ye. In his case, their fallout started after Ye found out Hit Boy had been producing for Beyonce while still signed under Good Music. And what should have been a moment of pride for Ye, his producer working with one of the biggest artists in the world, turned into a blackball when Ye saw this as disloyalty.
How is that disloyalty? Nigga, being a part of a record label is not being a part of a gang, nigga. This is not no gang shit. This is business, nigga. Fuck is you on? Nigga tripping, bro.
Thug through a lot of falling out with Kanye. Me up for a minute, bro. I was like, damn, am I gonna be able to really still do this? Like, just being 1,000, bro. It came to me that was like, Ye said to this, don't use Hit Boy on your album. Like, I really lived through that. How many more could get through Kanye trying to derail they, bro? I'm at the Nas party, like, I did a harder album for Nas than you did. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's just real.
Now, what makes this particularly egregious is Kanye himself built his name producing for everybody before anyone.
And that's the thing this is why I always kind of point to his mental health problems. This nigga Kanye knows that he made his come up producing for Jay-Z and them niggas. We got another nigga out here producing for Jay-Z's wife, Beyonce. And now he mad? He tilted? That one of his producers is making music for somebody that for the wife of somebody he personally knows, probably? For what? Where does this ego come from? Like, I get it, Kanye, you that nigga and all, but where does this ego come from, bro? Like, making good music is not a good enough, like, reason for this bipolarness and this ego this nigga got. I don't like that shit, bro.
Knew him as a rapper, he was Rockefeller's secret weapon, crafting the soul-sampled theme behind Jay-Z's The Blueprint, while still producing for other artists outside the label like Alicia Keys, Ludacris, and Janet Jackson. Back then, he was the same young producer who begged to be seen as more than a beatmaker, the same one who fought tooth and nail for creative freedom. Yet, years later, as the boss, Kanye
he's out here stifling other niggas' creative freedom. Crazy how this shit come full circle, bro. Nigga went from being an underdog to being the overdog, killing underdogs, nigga. Crazy work.
Had become everything he once rebelled against. With that kind of power dynamic in place, a healthy mentor-mentee relationship was never gonna last. So it's no surprise that by 2025, the label is effectively dead, with every signee either moving on or distancing themselves from Ye entirely. In this case, the label model reveals its darker side. Support the boss with unwavering loyalty or risk having your entire career derailed. But Ye isn't even the worst example of this, because long before he was outed as the man he's known as today, Bad Boy Records had already become infamous for how it treated every single one of its artists, including the closest.
I want to hear about this, bro. I didn't really pay too much. I kind of did pay attention to the Diddy shit, because I knew Diddy, we all know Diddy's a fucking moron and a bad fucking person, but like, I didn't really pay too much detail into like how deep it really went, you know?
To Diddy, and among those who pushed this narrative the hardest was of course.
But I do know one thing. I know 50, bro. 50 hate this nigga, bro. He do not fucking. Nigga got zero love for Diddy. He hates that nigga, bro. Real shit. I'm pretty sure when he heard the news about Diddy being indicted and all that shit, he probably threw a goddamn party or some shit, nigga. I ain't gonna lie. Shit.
Of course, 50 Cent. But first, you know what really annoys me? Paying.
Ooh, shit. Hello, y'all.
9 million weekly active users, I think it's easy to see why Coopert has a rating of 4.8 out of 5 on Trustpilot. So stop handing billion-dollar corporations your full paycheck and click the link again and refusing to drop it. Sources toward him ends with the man that jump-started the label. Greg Mack was the first to jump ship. Over the course of his run through hip-hop, those who were formerly signed to Puff have plenty to say.
Oh, and motherfucking that nigga Mace, bro. I know Mace was kind of feeling probably a type of way, like probably happy that he saw that Diddy fell or took this goddamn plunge that he did, bro. No cap.
About what really went down at Bad Boy, and that begins with the man that jump-started the label. Greg Mack was the first to jump ship. His single, Flavor in Your Ear, basically put Bad Boy on the map. But once Biggie blew up, Puff shifted all the resources toward him. With Mac's second album shelved and Mac's producer blackballed for confronting Diddy over production credit, he was told he couldn't release music under Bad Boy again and refusing to drop it. Then came Mace, the label's golden child after Biggie's passing. At the height of his fame, he walked away from it all and became a pastor, while claiming the industry had become toxic. Then, years later, he revealed that Puff still owned his publishing, making millions off songs Mace no longer controlled. And when Mace tried to buy back his masters, Puffy allegedly refused. Up until
Of course Puff refused. That nigga Puff's an egotistical, narcissistic motherfucker. You thought he was gonna give you that shit back? Come on, bruh. Be for real. Like, bro, Diddy is a sick motherfucker, bro. If he's sick to people in his personal life, how you think he treat the niggas he do business with? Come on, cuz.
Till this point, these were pretty standard shady label tactics, but things got much darker from 1999. After a nightclub shooting involving Diddy and Jennifer Lopez, bad boy artist Shine would take the fall and serve 10 years in prison, while Diddy walked free. And by the time he got out, the relationship was beyond repair, declaring that he said Puff, quote-unquote, sold him out to save himself. Loon, who was a...
Oh, he definitely did. That was goddamn, that shit shiesty. He definitely did, nigga. Golly.
Another promising name left the label in the mid-2000s after feeling trapped between Puff's business ambitions and his own artistry. He later converted to Islam and served nearly a decade in prison on drug-related charges, maintaining that bad boy's culture of excess had pushed him toward a lifestyle he wanted no part of. Even Young Jock and Machine Gun Kelly echoed the same frustrations with delayed payments, lost royalties, and restrictive contracts that kept them from profiting off their own success.
Diddy a real like fucked up ass nigga, like, cause he you know that nigga don't play about his money. So why he play with other niggas' money? Delayed payments. You got me fucked up, nigga. Boy, I me fucked the fuck up, boy. I would've did that nigga how J. Cole did that nigga. No cap.
By the late 2000s, nearly every major act had either been dropped, gone independent, or distanced themselves entirely. The so-called quote-unquote bad boy family had become a graveyard of careers. But one contract stands out the most, and that's Cassie. Thanks to the recent courtroom drama that played out, former fans got a glimpse into how Diddy truly ran things, particularly when it came to women like Cassie. Because as it turns out, he locked her into a deal that was practically unheard of in the music industry, only to ensure she never gained financial independence on her own. When I signed the contract, I was 19. It was a 10-album deal, and I released an album later that year in 2006 in August. I was confused.
10-album release? Bitch signed to Death Row. God damn. She ain't got no agents. It was nobody in her ear telling her that was a terrible fucking deal. Like if I was out, I'd have been like, you know, you gotta make like 10 albums for this nigga, right? Like making an album is a lot. Making one album is a lot. So like you gotta make 10 like back to back to back to back to back for this nigga. Like, you know that, right? Like that's something you know, right? Like you hear what are you hearing me? Like I'd have been in her ear like that, nigga. Like let her know like this shit really like fucked up. But she still signed anyways. I don't know.
Was a new artist that didn't know the lay of the land and things like that, Cassie said.
Like if I was an artist and I was signed, I can only promise the label 3 albums, bro. And then we can work on a new deal. But I could probably promise them 3 at the max. Really, I want to make 1 or 2, but I can promise y'all niggas 3 at the max, bro. Cause y'all not like the negotiations we gotta keep making new negotiations as you grow bigger as an artist. You gotta like really understand that you got more pull now. You gotta start making more like lucrative deals for yourself, bro, so you don't goddamn get hoed into 10 albums. Like 10 whole fucking albums? Are you serious, nigga? That's a lot of music, bro.
Now, if this is how he treated someone he claimed to love and shared a relationship with, it raises a bigger question. If Cassie, with a direct connection to Diddy, could be trapped in a 10-album deal, what chance did the rest of Bad Boy's roster ever have? All the while, he sought to take advantage of Cassie's lack of awareness and how the game worked. I wasn't used to an executive or anyone being that forward with me, in a more than friends way, a romantic way. I remember running out back to my hotel and telling someone about it. From there, he continued to blur the lines between authority figure and romantic partner, exerting incredible control over her in the process. In a story that now...
And that's that narcissist shit. You like have to understand in relationships, you can't be out here being like having that much power over somebody you're in a relationship with. The power dynamic in a relationship gotta be 50-50, bro. It gotta be real like equitable, bro. Like you both have to have a lot of control over how you act and also what y'all do together at the same time. But this nigga Diddy out here controlling this bitch. He controlled the bitch. I ain't gonna lie, he controlled the bitch. Fuck it. I keep it on. He controlled the bitch. 10 albums? Golly.
Seems even more haunting now that we know so much more about Diddy. Former signee Young Jock recalled how Puff could have Cassie do anything he wanted without hesitation.
I was watching Puff. He saw this white woman. It was bottles on bottles on bottles around. It was lit. Puff jumped out. Me and Cassie sitting next to each other. My wife right here, Cassie right here. Jumped off the bar, came on and said, yo, yo, Cassie, tomorrow, I want you to shave the side of your head. I'm like, what the kind of request is that? So when I look up there, this white woman's side of her head was shaved, man. So within like 2-3 days, she sent me a picture. I'm like, she done shaved her head.
But this warped perception of his female artists wasn't limited exclusively to Cassie either. Speaking in a tell-all interview about his time with Diddy, former bodyguard Gene Deal recalled his monstrous intent for groups like Danny Kane.
He stood up there and he said in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio, and I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, I'm gonna drug them out. I'm gonna get them all on drugs, and I'm gonna pimp their ass out to my...
Bro, pimping was the crime, bro. This nigga is crazy. Damn. That nigga not right.
I was like, there's somebody kids, and walked out.
Although this is obviously an extreme case, what happened at Bad Boy shows exactly
Hold on, bro. Recording.
what can go wrong when these same patterns play out inside artist-owned labels. Because whether it's someone as unpredictable as Ye or someone as predatory as Diddy, their cultural influence often shields them from accountability. The fame, legacy, and image gives them more freedom to exploit the people beneath them than any traditional executive could reason.
But like, honestly, the thing is like, Kanye shit is just more egotistical and more crazy and racist. But Diddy shit is depraved. Like, that nigga really like sick. Like, it's a reason why Kanye not in jail or in court right now. Like, the nigga shit, like, it's crazy, but it's like, Diddy shit is ridiculous, nigga, for no fucking reason.
Reasonably get away with. Still, a video like this wouldn't be complete without the mention of Birdman's Cash Money, specifically as it pertains to Lil Wayne and his label Young Money. Overseen by Lil Wayne as a subsidiary of Cash Money, there was a time when Young Money looked like a prime example of what a successful artist-owned label could be. This was in the era that spawned the trio Nicki Minaj, Drake, and Tyga, who go on to leave an indelible mark on the culture. In fact, the label was killing it to the extent that from 2009's We Are Young Money compilation through to Tyga's Well Done mixtape series, which concluded in 2014, nothing they put out didn't go at least gold, if not multi-platinum. But while everything they dropped couldn't stay off the billboard, what brought the entire operation down was a petty dispute that would cost Wayne his career. By the mid-2010s, Wayne wasn't just a rapper, he was hip-hop. Every mixtape changed the sound of the genre, every feature launched a new star, and the Carter 5 was meant to be the culmination of a decade-long run. But behind the scenes, the label that had built him was choking him out financially. Wayne claimed Birdman owed him tens of millions of...
To all my fans, I want you to know my album, well, it hasn't been released, but future release it. Shit, god damn, nigga.
dollars in unpaid advances and profits from his own label Young Money, and in 2014 he went public, tweeting that he was a quote-unquote prisoner and that the Carter 5 was being held back against his will. 4 long years passed while the album sat in limbo, while Lil Wayne, arguably the most influential rapper of the 2000s, couldn't legally release new music under his own name. What made it worse was the irony. This wasn't a story of an unknown artist getting shelved by a major. This was Lil Wayne, an A-list icon being treated like a disposable asset because the man cutting his checks wasn't a corporate executive. It was his quote-unquote father. If Wayne had been signed to a traditional major label, this situation would have been unthinkable. Universal or Sony...
It wouldn't have happened. They would have released that shit, bro. Because these niggas, they want that money bad. They don't give a fuck. They do give a fuck about control, but these niggas are money hungry. They know, like, we let this nigga drop, he gonna get us so much paper. But Birdman, that boy don't give a fuck.
Wouldn't risk freezing their biggest moneymaker over personal greed, and there would have been accounting, audits, and contracts reviewed by lawyers, not handshakes between quote-unquote brothers. In the end, it wasn't loyalty or...
That handshake brother shit don't work in business, bro. You gotta keep a record, you gotta keep lists, you gotta have lawyers on standby, you gotta have a lot of shit like really like in paper. This brother shit that these niggas was on, fuck no.
brotherhood that's...
I would never go for it. If I was an artist, I'm not going for no shit like that, bro. Nigga, we doing this shit traditional. We talking about lawyers, we talking about audits, we talking about real business, nigga. Not this shit. I don't know what the fuck these niggas was on. But clearly it wasn't favoring this nigga. Clearly.
Saved Lil Wayne's career. It was corporate intervention. After nearly half a decade of public silence, it took Universal Music Group to finally step in to clean up the wreckage. What began as a simple dispute over unpaid royalties had escalated into one of the longest and most expensive battles in rap history. a $51 million lawsuit that threatened to collapse Cash Money Records entirely. So Universal had no choice. They were already distributing both Cash Money and Young Money, meaning that every day the Carter Five stayed locked up in a vault, they were losing millions. So behind closed doors, Universal brokered a peace deal, with reports revealing that the company cut Lil Wayne a lump sum $50 million settlement, effectively buying his freedom and buying out Young Money in the process, meaning that in one stroke, Wayne was made whole but stripped of the empire he had built. And now the very label he had created with his father to escape the system was now owned by it. When the Carter Five finally dropped in 2018, it wasn't just an album, it was a cultural sigh of relief. And while Wayne walked away a free man, it came with a bitter truth. Had he been signed to a regular label, this war might have never happened. Then there's
Might have, no, nigga, it would have never fucking happened. Oh my god. It would have never happened. In the first place. This shit would have been released. It said it released in 2018. That shit would have been released in 2016, 2015, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about?
Drake's OVO sound, a label designed less as a platform for artists and more as a reinforcement of his own legacy. Co-founded by Noah, 40 Shabib, and backed by Republic, OVO Sound has put out close to 30 albums over the years. But here's the thing, unless Drake's name is attached, most of those projects barely make a dent. With a lineup of bus drivers such as Roy Woods, Bacchanal Nice, and Smiley, among others.
Bro, Smiley and all them niggas, bro, them boys are irrelevant. They have no real power or pull in the industry. Them niggas ain't got no drop. Nothing they drop actually does anything. I don't even know none of these niggas. The only nigga I know is Smiley because that verse he had with Drake where we was talking about, so Prada and Gucci don't go together. I swear to God, dear, I swear to God, letter. But I don't listen to Smiley like ever. Like, and that just speaks to the fragility of the label. It's the only other nigga I listen to that I know is signed under OVO is Party, because Party's that nigga, bro, honestly. But everybody else, trash.
Almost all of them have failed to make the seismic splash that they once hoped for. At the same time, OVO became less of a launching pad for new stars and more of a machine to keep Drake on top. Talented acts like DVSN, Magic Jordan, and Party Next Door ended up contributing more to Drake's catalog than their own, feeding
Facts, especially Party. I feel like if Party was signed to a regular label, he would have dropped a lot more music, and not just a lot more music. It would have been a lot better, like more impactful music. Cause Party is very talented, bro. His way with music and words is like really like we gotta study it, you know. Cause when I listen to a lot of R&B artists, I hear shit I've heard before, and it kind of feels like a running loop almost sometimes, you know. But with Party, it's like I'm hearing new sounds and new ways to use a sound that I've never heard from other people, and that creativity is really stimulating to the mind, bro. And I just feel like that shit is getting stifled by him being signed to OVO and working with Drake and shit. I ain't gonna lie, cause Party, man, the guy's a star, bro. Y'all gotta tap in, bro. No cap.
into the idea
If you're not tapped in already.
that OVO isn't really a label at all. It's a glorified sweatshop.
They basically put us in a studio, and it was like a studio camp almost. There were tents in there. There were like people flying
beats.
in. Yeah, make beats. Stay in the dungeon.
drums.
Don't leave.
Like,
You cannot leave.
Literally
Right,
tense.
songs.
Literally
you can't
tense.
tell anyone you're working on this project.
We met like so many people that we now.
I know them NDAs they had these niggas signing was ferocious, boy. Them NDAs was not fucking with people, nigga. Them hoes was locked and sealed and tight, boy. They find out you made a peep of this shit, your ass might get assassinated, nigga. No cap.
Work with and collaborate with.
Yeah,
it was just
it-
crazy.
it
Like
was-
there was actually tents.
Yeah,
Like,
there are tents
real
in the
tents.
studio. People were capping it. I
Real
slept
tents
in a tent in
vocal
the
booth,
studio.
Everything.
Alongside directly writing tracks and producing for him, they even gave some of their best material away purely to assist Drake, namely the song Hold On, We're Going Home.
And then we put it on a USB for.
Y'all give that away? Just to. Woo, that's fucked up, nigga. But hey, bro. When the music business just seems like a real shiesty place, nigga. God damn.
Drake to drive home to one night. He drove home. We showed up the next day, and he attracted. And they're like, "We love this song. You know, this is the one." And 40's sitting there with his arms up in the studio, and he's like, "We got it. We've got the single. We did it." You know.
Alongside Party Next Door, perpetually playing second fiddle, and other former
Perpetually, and I mean perpetually. The last album he dropped with Drake, the newest one, I won't lie, I liked it, but the thing with me is this: I fuck with Drake as an artist, but I really wanted that album to just be a party album alone. Drake, do your thing by yourself, nigga, and maybe chime in here and there on party shit every once in a while, right? 1 or 2 songs. But that album, he was damn near in every single fucking song, and I did not like that shit, bro. I really felt like Party needed his own platform to shine. This nigga, could Party be as big as Drake? No. Right? No. But he could be like, he could have that Tory. I feel like he kind of like on Tory Lane's level, basically. He could be bigger than Tory. You know what I'm saying? But we never got that. I never got that. We never saw it. And we might never see it, honestly. Which is sad, because, you know. But hey.
Artists like Mackinnon speaking on how their relationship with Drizzy went sour, stories from Magic Jordan is precisely why someone like The Weeknd knew they had to escape OVO if they were to be successful. Much like the duo Magic Jordan, The Weeknd once recalled having to give away damn near half of a project to help Drake complete Take Care. So when the chance finally came, instead of signing with OVO as everyone expected, he chose to form his own label and take full control of his destiny. And to say that Drake was pissed wasn't.
You won't get away with it. Thank you. You won't get away with it. You owe me a favor. Boy, fuck out of here.
Understatement. Granted, Weeknd's own label, XO, hasn't necessarily been a major launchpad for other artists, with only artists like Belly and Nav managing to make any notable ground in the industry. But at least in this case, Abel never made any comments about how he was going to single-handedly revolutionize the game under his label. So what's the takeaway from all of this? Well, it's not that artists should stay away from a rapper-owned label. It's that they need to look past the music and pay attention to the person running.
And not only pay attention to the person running it, but pay attention to the business that these niggas are running, bro. Like, literally listen to that shit. If you see that this nigga's talking about loyalty over everything, run. Because he's fucking crazy. Like, what do you mean I can't make music for other niggas? You can make music for other niggas and still be under the label. If I was a rapper and I own a label, I'm letting niggas make music for other niggas while still being under the label. Why not, bro? That's good business, nigga. We make good music. I'm helping my niggas make good music. Like, it's nothing to be afraid of, bro. And if niggas want their royalties, here, bro, you can have your royalties. I got paid. You can have your royalties, nigga. Fuck it. The fuck? We don't gotta hold niggas back.
And things. Because a label always.
I'm not a rapper. But, you know, one thing I gotta say, he did not mention Dreamville at all, though. So I guess Dreamville might be doing something right. J. Cole might be doing something right. You know? But I don't know, though, personally. I don't know the ins and outs of Dreamville. All I know about is I know Jid, Ari Lennox, and Bass are under Dreamville. I don't know much of these niggas. All these niggas for real. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Dreamville might be doing something right, but no cap. And I'm really excited for that fall off. I might react to it on the channel. I won't even lie. I might. You know, because I just feel like honestly, I haven't been reacting to music lately. But I fuck with J. Cole so heavy, I just might do it. You know what I'm saying? No cap.
Ends up reflecting the artist who built it. And one of the best examples of that is J. Cole. With Dreamville, Cole built more than a label.
Oh, he's talking about let's go.
He built a movement. It was never about control or money. It was about family and putting on creatives he truly believed in. So when his partnership with...
And I fuck with that. That's why when the music come from Dreamville, it flow fresh. It feels free and it flow fresh, no cap.
Universal recently came to an end. He made sure every artist on the roster was taken care of to the extent that they'll never have to work again.
Dreamville sold Dreamville, and Cole looked out for everybody that was a part of Dreamville.
I heard Boss talking about that.
That's one of the most beautiful things in hip hop right there. That never happened.
That's dope.
That
Yeah, that's
never.
dope.
And that's why I hold J. Cole to such a high horse. That's why I be glazing that nigga, because that nigga, he really is. Not only is he an artist, he's also a good businessman. And not just a good businessman in the sense that he makes profit. He's a good businessman in the sense that he takes care of his people. And I really respect that. I hold a lot of praise for not only his artistry, but also his mindset when it comes to doing business with people. That's love. That's real.
Happened in it.
Because although a lot of his artists, they aren't really popping crazy, like they aren't popping mad crazy. Like, I'm not gonna say Bass and Ari are not talented. They're very talented, but they're not popping crazy right now. They still good though, and I respect that.
It happens to the regard where if on Dreamville don't want to do music and they just want to move on with their life, they'll be good.
That good.
Be straight. Like, you do it because you love it.
Master P did the same with No Limit, turning it into one of the most successful independent family-run labels hip-hop has ever seen. Then there's 50 Cent with G-Unit, which was clearly a brotherhood for 50 to give his friends Lloyd Banks, Young Buck, and Tony Yayo the room to create their own paths while still feeding into something bigger than themselves. And although Eminem's Shady Records didn't grow into the empire he might have imagined, he had pure intentions. In return, thanks to him shining light on raw talent the industry probably would have ignored, we got Obi Trice, Slaughterhouse, D12, and of course, 50 Cent.
Hey man, that's what I'm saying. It's real ups and downs to this rapper own label shit, bro. We can have the Diddy and the Kanye's, and we can have the J. Cole's of the world really making a difference, really making shit pop. You know what I'm saying? Really doing right by the artists, and I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, make sure y'all like and subscribe. Make sure I get to 1,000 subscribers. If you have anything I want me to react to, make sure y'all leave down in the comments down below. Make sure y'all like the video too and shit like that. And I'm gonna catch y'all next one, man. We out.